now call to order. Clerk, call the roll.
County Judge Executive Ben Hill.
Here.
County Attorney Keith Bartlett.
Here.
County Treasurer David Lane.
Here.
Master for District Number 1, John Golden.
Here.
Master for District Number 2, Randy Davis.
Here.
Master for District Number 3, Mike Taggart.
Here.
Master for District Number 4, Ronnie Akers.
All right. That form is, please stand for the opening prayer, Chris, and then remain standing for the pledge of allegiance.
May we bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you. We're just so thankful that we live in America. We have so many freedoms here. There's a lot of things that a person can complain about in this country, but we're still the greatest nation in all the world. And we thank you for that. Lord, we come to you once again, asking for your blessings to be upon this court, and upon our county, upon our state, and upon our country. To just give this court the wisdom and the knowledge they need to make wise choices that will benefit our citizens. We ask it all in your precious and holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I don't want to make a lot of people wait. We do have an executive session today, but I want to go ahead and not really amend the special agenda, but to move the executive session to the end of the meeting. I need a motion to do that, and that way people don't have to go through it. Motion's been made and seconded.
Second.
We're going to move to the end of the meeting. Okay. First item on the agenda. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Before you got the minutes ahead of time, see changes need to be made and not ask for a motion and second of the approval of the minutes.
Make a motion.
Motion been made and seconded by District 2 and District 3. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Treasurer report.
We're standing about where we thought was with our budget carried over 1,787,376.44. We spent more in June than what we took in, but that's just normal. It's very percent.
Okay. Barry, got anything? Thank you, Treasurer. You got anything for jail report?
I don't have anything good.
Solid waste report, Lonnie.
Things are going good. We're working on our return deal. We've got them done about half of our original. It's a slow process. Trying to find the things. Our little rate rules are out working, doing good. Probably going to start thinking about our fall cleaning up. We're getting into that mode, but I think we're getting before we know it. And everything's going good. Just get told to you.
E911 report. Thank you.
Trying to work on ESM boundaries, working with ambulance services, trying to define their boundaries for sure. Working on trying to get all our reimbursements from the state of Kentucky for emergency management.
And they did approve, they are going to say that we can take half of the utilities that we don't have.
We can take half the utilities from my section of the office, power, electric, telephone, internet.
Yeah, make sure we don't turn any of that federal money back over.
Yeah, I've got a meeting Friday to go over the reimbursement stuff for Sherry.
Okay, thank you. Probably no citizens' comments. Everybody here is somebody that's going to be presenting today. I don't think. Greg, can you just take a quick look? I don't think we have anyone. Okay, the executive session, we have moved to the end of it. The first item on the agenda is basically all business. It's nothing new. It's talking about what is coming in here through the initiative that was done through Congressman Rogers and Governor Beshear. It's being carried on right now. It's called the Broadband Fiber Optic Initiative that we're trying to get here in Eastern Kentucky. And I want to introduce a good friend of mine, and you introduce your entourage too, Tony. But this is Tony Wilder. He was a county judge that I used to know from Boyle County, and he was in probation parole, a circuit clerk, and commissioner of the DLG, and he's now in the private sector world. And Tony I met with him Friday, and Tony, if you would, please stand up. If talk to the court a little bit about the intricacies and the things that we're going to be facing down the road when we finally get this dark fiber broadband in.
Judge, thank you.
And introduce your.
I will. Members of the court, thank you all for having us. It's a pleasure to be here. I don't know how intricate I'm going to get. I'm going to try to be simple if I can. First of all, I think it's important that I say, on my 8 years as commissioner, I want to thank you all for your many kindness that showed me and friendship. I enjoyed every minute of that. And I have in my little study office at home right now the most beautiful little blue King's case knife that is prominently displayed in my office, and that I'm very proud of, and I appreciate that very much. Well, you all, if you hadn't been living in a cave, you know that this middle mile is coming. This big middle mile broadband project is coming, and we have a team here that I'm going to introduce to you, and we're going to talk about what we feel we can do to help you build this last mile that I talk about all the time. With me is Russ Salzman. You all may remember Russ, my chief of staff at DLG, and a lot of government experience. Worked for Governor Jones, one of his first jobs in the public sector was for Governor Jones as his chief of staff. Robin Bidner has worked with the Attorney General's office, has been in D.C., working with the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, and also while at the Attorney General's office, has been involved deeply in utility law. And some of the things about advocate services and constituent services with the Attorney General's office. Drew Jenkins also worked for the Attorney General's office, and they have an LLC that is a government relations, public relations firm. We're partnered, and they're partnered with us. And our firm is called Local Links Solutions. That's our LLC, Local Links Solutions. Now, being judge, you can remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, and in the 80s, the big challenge for local government was water. And I'm telling you, I see the same thing today with broadband. You can remember back then, people would move into rural areas and they would always come see us and say, we need water, we need water. And, you tell them, well, you moved there, you knew there wasn't water, you had to have a cistern or a well. But they wouldn't accept that. And really, as a local government, I always felt a strong obligation that you were responsible. The challenge was yours to somehow get that potable water out to you. I feel the same way about this broadband. It's the 21st century utility need as far as I'm concerned. And the local governments, again, the burden falls on you to see that whatever you can do to extend and expand and deploy that high-speed broadband service that's coming. Now, the middle mile is not constructed yet. They're finishing up the final right-of-way purchases, and they're going to go. They're going to go fast. And what we're going to do is sort of, we feel like with our local government experience and the experience that we have on our team as far as government relations and knowing utilities, and also we're affiliated with the law firm that has provided Macquarie. You all know the Macquarie firm, the private investment firm that came in and partnered with state government. We're partnered with that law firm who have literally done most of the legal work in setting up that partnership and all the other related activities that have to be done legally. So we have that connection with vendors, to contractors, and folks associated with this telecommunications, broadband deployment and development area. So we feel well positioned. Now, we're going all over East Kentucky, and we're crossing I-75 some and visiting some communities. And I'm going to tell you, there's one common thing. People are overwhelmed. They don't know what to do. Very few public officials really understand their role as it relates to this project or what they can do. Now, the other common denominator is nobody has any capital. None of them, you and I have talked, Judge, and I'm pretty aware, having been commissioner, about budgets in East Kentucky and what coal severance has affected. There's not a lot of capital, and any capital you do have, you've got priorities somewhere else. And this broadband thing is wonderful, and you'd love to get it to your people, but you don't have the capital to invest in that construction, in the feasibility studies, the architectural and engineer plans that have to be done to the T. So that's where we come in. Our concept and our model is this. We come in and we would like to contract with local government. We're not going to charge local government a dime. Not going to charge you a dime. What we're going to be doing is we're going to help you negotiate and get RFIs out, get private investment and internet providers and folks to team up to come in and offer you something about building out your county. Get this broadband out there. It's feasible, whatever's feasible as far as they can go. Now, you all know, geographically speaking, it's tough in East Kentucky to do wireless. There may be areas where wireless can be done. But we'd like to get that fiber. We'd like to get that high-speed fiber out. We'll have someone mention some of the dynamics involved in this fiber, the speeds that are going to be offered now over what you have. But what we help you do RFIs. We'll help you negotiate and sell your county to some group or singular private investor who wants to come in and say, I'll build out Floyd County. That's who we'll charge. That's who will pay us. Under our model, nothing to the county, we work for you, but in that contract, we're going to ask that vendor, whoever that winning vendor may be, who's actually going to be benefited by the market of Floyd County, to pay us a small sum for our compensation. That's it. That's how we're going to be paid. As I said, with what we've got behind us, the background and the experience, I think we're well suited to help. You know, I know what you all have faced. When I go before fiscal court, I'm operating in an environment I know pretty dang well. And it's, so I know what you're facing. And I also know that you want to help your people. And that's what drives me. And I was at home. I had to, of course, I departed from Frankfurt about middle December and kind of figured out where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do. I enjoyed my time off and got a lot of jobs done at home. And my buddy Russ called me and said, I got this idea. I got this idea. And I listened, and I took a couple months to even study that. And now I think that we legitimately offer something to the communities and the governments that I love to work with. I think we legitimately got something we can help. And that's why I signed up. And Russ, you want to add anything to that at all? About the story?
Yeah. Oh, about the story, about our story.
No,
I think we handled that.
Okay. Drew, why don't you come up and talk about, Drew is going to sort of give you a little overview of some of the options, some of the more particular options that we're talking about and we're able to help you. Come on up.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for your time. My name's Drew Jenkins. I'm with these guys. Robin actually has a government relations firm like they were telling you about, and kind of how we got into it. Was attending P3 conferences and public-private partnership deals, and we met a lot of vendors. We met a lot of folks who like, hey, we're part of the middle mile in this way. There are a lot of vendors involved in a $300 million plus project. So as we got to know these vendors, we realized there's really, they don't know, the county judges in Kentucky. They don't know the mayors. They don't know the city councils. They know the names. They're doing their job on the middle mile, but they really need somebody for this middle mile work to work with them to help build out that final mile, which is where you deploy high-speed internet, high-speed broadband to the residents' homes, to the consumers' homes. So there was sort of a detachment from your guys or your banks, right? The guys that can put up $15 to $20 million to go in and do sort of a final mile build out. So, and Robert and I, in our current talking with these folks, we decided to call Russ because nobody knows the needs and the faces of local governments better than these guys. So that's kind of how this partnership got going. And I think our firm got sort of an education from Tony and Russ about franchise fees, things like that are very important to you guys that we've never would have thought of. And we were able to talk sort of on the vendor side, what they're looking for, what they need to get going. So I think what we have now is a team that really will act as a buyer's agent. It's a model that's completely different. Nobody else really does this. So we essentially act as a buyer's agent. We're not pushing a certain company. We're not pushing AT&T, Windstream, anywhere. We're pushing the best deal that that city, county, or the team can get. And I think Tony's right. It is a process that is very complex. It can be overwhelming. You guys also have day jobs, do bridges, keep safe, doing all the things that local government has to do to probably overwork as it is, which is why I think we're an important piece of this final mile deployment where we're able to get high-speed internet to residents at a cheap price, with the coverage you want. A lot of folks say, hey, we want to go in and have 100% coverage. We want to get there. And it needs to be affordable as well. So where we come in is we sort of take that off the plate. The way we advise most counties to do this is to, A, figure out what you want to do, what players you want, or the city's going to be involved in the counties. You know, is that going to be a model where we work together? Some work together, some work separately, which is completely fine. It just depends on what your needs are and sort of, you know, what the electeds decide to do. Step 2 is once you sort of figure out how you want to do this, you do a feasibility study. There's some grant money out there for feasibility study. I think the city here, yeah, so there's some grant money out there. We'll also do one. There's no harm in having to. So we have a private firm that would come in and do one anyhow before they decide to invest in the community. So, you know, if you sign with us, you probably get a second feasibility study for free. Our private fund, just because they've got to do their due diligence before they come in. So you do that feasibility study, see where you're at, see where your goals are, see what speed you're at right now, see about what people are paying, and get a really good sort of overview of what the state of internet is here in the county. And that's important. You do that feasibility study, you got it, it's free, no cost, you know, decide to walk away, that's fine, there's no harm, no foul. So once you get that feasibility study, you say, okay, this is where we'd like to be. We're at whatever, 40% coverage, you know, these speeds, and this is the price. So you do that and you say, where do we want to be in 5, 10, 15 years down the road? And you draft an RFI, which we're happy to help. We've got a great county attorney too that probably has done these in the past as well. But we're happy to work with you because we've got a shelf and RFI. And you put it out to local businesses, national businesses, investors, queries. You know, we've got Corning is somebody who's in our network. Corning, you know, that builds fiber. They sell fiber. They do glass products. Very, very highly technical company. They're looking to make a major investment in Kentucky. They're looking to do somewhere between 3 to 5 counties, cities and counties on the get-go. They want to hit the ground running. And they've sort of asked us to sort of check with our network and see what the enthusiasm is in cities and counties. And they're going to make a lot of their decisions on money, but also enthusiasm. The enthusiasm of the local officials to get this thing done. You know, the people that are strong, that if there's an issue, they can bring everybody together and work through it. That's what Corning wants to do. And they're going to make a major investment. They're going to look to do a long-term deal, similar to how they did with the middle mile, like the Prairie with the middle mile, right? They have a 30-year deal where they go in, they put up the money, they operate it, act as a wholesaler, sell other internet service providers, and they're in the contract for 30 years. We'll probably look to do something similar to that in the counties, obviously on a much smaller scale. It's not a $300 million project. You're probably looking at 15, 20, $30 million. It's hard to say, just depending on what you have to do and what the county looks like. So you get there and you start marketing. Start marketing, saying, this is our RFI, this is where we want to be. What our team does is shop to the banks. We say, you know, these guys are excited that, you know, they've got the will to get it done, there's enthusiasm, these are the assets they've got. If we can use this water tower to obtain the signal, you know, whatever it is, we'll work with you to get it done. And we shop that to the banks, the guys that put up the capital to get the job done. Because right now, that's the toughest part, is putting up the capital. And we have a network of folks that are willing to do that if the numbers make sense. And you know, if they're able to come in and negotiate a fair deal for everybody. And that's what they're looking to do. They're looking for a fair deal because they want to do projects like the middle mile all over the country. They're making good money on it, so they want to keep propagating it. And it's good for the consumer because they're going to get high-speed internet at an affordable price. And it's good for the county because you can really talk about your goals, what coverage you want to hit. I know in my county, in Shelby County, we were there recently, and all the magistrates and judges said, yeah, we want to get as close to 100% as we can get. And that's how we're going to draft that RFI. And we're going to have those businesses come back and say, how do you get to 100%? What prices do you have to charge? What do you need from us to get the job done? And you kind of put it on them to let their teams, their finance people, everybody think about it, and then submit proposals back. In a perfect world, hopefully you get a lot of proposals, right? You want to have as many good ideas on the table as you can, and we'll work with you to look at those and look at sort of industry practices and help you make a decision. Because our job is have your back as the buyer's rep. So that's essentially what we do. We take that off your plate and go do our jobs and present the best proposals we can. A lot of people will take it because there are a lot of people willing to come in and spend money and work with the communities that are willing to work with them.
Drew, you and Tony both have said something that's probably hit the nail on the head. It is overwhelming with these local officials because even when we go to these meetings, they're not really up on it exactly how to explain it or what the process is. They're still grasping and trying to get their hands around this. So, as far as I'm concerned, I understand what you're trying to do, that you're going to be out here with these local governments, cities, counties, whatever, and trying to be that person that's going to do that for us and try to find out what is a good fit for Floyd County as far as trying to get this out on the final mile. It's going to be very complicated, and it's going to be something that is going to take a lot of investment from something. Either it's going to be a public-private partnership or restricted public. It depends on exactly what's going on in that part of it. But we want, I can honestly say at this point, because it is so complicated, because it is something that they're still trying to get their arms around. In the middle mile, we don't know exactly, but it's coming. And it's going to be coming into the government buildings and so forth. And at that point, it's going to be going down our main corridor. We're still going to Pike County, Johnson County, Martin County, and so forth. So these main trunk lines are going to be here, but we still need that expertise. We need those people in working and finding out what is the best fit for Floyd County. At this point, is it a private public? Is it strictly a private partnership that can get this out to the final mile? And how far do we go? Because as Tony knows, being the commissioner, he knows in Eastern Kentucky, it costs a heck of a lot more to put infrastructure needs in Eastern Kentucky when you're doing it than it does in flatlands of Western Kentucky or Central Kentucky. So it might be a little different on this because I guess, as far as I know, I don't even know if they're buried or they're hanging on the poles.
It just depends on the area they're doing a little bit of.
So all these things is a little bit different, and we need that expertise. We need somebody doing that for us and coming in and advising us and saying this is what's the best fit for Floyd County. In my opinion, I'm willing to do, and of course, we've got I got the magistrates and the county attorney a piece, a little bit of paperwork for them to look at. And we'll come back at a later time and try to go through the language just to make sure it's suitable for us. But Tony, if you want to stand up and anything else, I mean, I know this is good at it, and I know I've been to a lot of these meetings and trying to get it, but right now I think what you're proposing to us, I have not a problem whatsoever going forward with this because it is going to be complicated, and it's something that, quite honestly, you're right. These guys have got their own things going on out in the county and stuff, and it's going to be something that's going to take a heck of a lot of time to try to figure out exactly what's the best for the county. It's not a mile, so if you want to talk anymore, I mean, it's fine. I feel confident enough. I mean, with you and Frank Friday, but I mean, if there's any questions, guys.
I'll always talk.
Yeah.
So I'd like to ask you, Tony, and the mayor's here, and I think he can actually, there's some franchise, I heard you mention franchise. Now, you don't know about the companies like we have, I know, I'm pretty sure that the city has a franchise with Southern. And what is that going to do to, say, like our local company that's already here that's provide internet service and stuff? And
Excellent
you want to be
question.
partnered with them, or?
Excellent question, because we're going to cover that if that wasn't asked.
Okay.
Our concept is, and we've talked before, and particularly the major player, is they want to work with the locals. Now, but there's still that standard you got to set. You want to, with this high speed coming in from 400, what is it, 100, 400 megabits coming in on that little mile. One of the most important things is you don't want to install this infrastructure and it still only give you 40 when they say they're going to give you 25. And so it's up to you to make sure that speed, when you do this contract with somebody, to build this out, they've got to have consistent speeds. That's one of the tenets of the contract. So in answer to your question, we want to work with the locals, but we got to make sure the locals can deliver that speed and that kind of thing, which is awfully important.
Little competition's kind of nice too, if we got.
Pardon me?
Little competition, sometimes nice too.
My next point is that.
Make companies like Southern who don't service.
County attorney, yeah, exactly right. And I'll tell you what we've experienced, and I've seen it with a judge and commissioner, and I'm not disparaging the company, don't get me wrong. But I do know that the AT&Ts and the Windstreams of the world, those people have had a chance to do this already, if they want. And many times, it's only they go a little bit in the most dense area where they get that payback real quick. And now, with the middle mile coming, it's incentive to change. It's incentive to compete and move it out and see if somebody wants to expand out there in that rural area, that person wants to have a home business. And we know what's happening in East Kentucky coal-wise. And we're stressing people to have home businesses and to make money and get some income. And that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
Mayor, you got a comment?
Yeah, am I allowed to speak from the board, Judge? Yeah. Can I speak from the board?
Well, who are you?
This is it. This is
Did you sign up? Did you sign up?
No, I didn't.
Sit down.
On this topic, I came here early on and you were sort of wanting to wait it out and see how that flowed. I went and jumped right into the local food and I know exactly where you guys come from. And I really understand what y'all talking about. We've got a grant here in the city to do a feasibility study. And for the city, the way it's set up, we are very willing to do whatever we can if we can help everybody. City, county working together, I think it's an opportunity for us to be able to add to everybody's quality.
Mayor, you can imagine how that's going to appear to potential investors. They want to see that.
And that's my concern, because right now, when I was approached by other groups that do similar things to you all, I haven't committed anybody, I want to understand that. And their big thing was we want the really populated areas. That's why they came to us first, because it's populated. But, we don't want to be the type of city that we're going to say, heck with that. We don't want to be that thing. We want to work, if it's one, even if it works out a little bit less than our benefit, if it helps the whole county, we want to do that. That's our goal. Because, the county seat, we're for the county.
I always said when I was judge, what's good for the county seat's good for the county.
Well, I agree with you, and that's what I feel about it.
It's true.
But anything we can do to work with you guys on this, we're all on board. So I just want to make sure
That's going to be that.
Tony,
One of the questions that I was asking is, would you work with that, just like the city, if they're tied to that franchise for X amount of years, where that we work with them, this work, that's why, in access to it.
And you all should be entitled to the franchise fee as well. Okay. And if anybody comes in new too, you can get a new franchise. Good question, John. I'm glad you asked that question.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Stick around. There might be a few questions after the meeting by the media. And you got time to stick around?
Yeah.
I mean,
Any questions?
you can go in there and get done with the talking, but if you want to stick around, so any of the media's got any questions, please.
Well, all that donut's under $25, I'll do it.
That's right, it's okay.
All right. All right, let's get into a little bit of the meat of the meeting. That was big meat. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it that way. That's very important. First item on the agenda is we need to amend the budget. And got sent back down to where Tony used to work down at DLG because of the CDBG and the ARC funds that is being realized on the phase 3 project of the Harold Sewer project. So need just a motion and a second on this date.
Yes.
Motion been made by District 4 and second, was there a second? Yeah. Mike seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, next item on the agenda is...
Judge, you did say that was an emergency, right? You read that as this.
No, I didn't read it that
The
way.
ordinance is an emergency, that's why we're doing a one-time reading.
Okay. Oh, it's just a one-time reading?
One-time reading.
Okay. It is an emergency ordinance, it's one-time reading, and motion is second. All those in favor? Okay. And that's just for a time thing, is it? Because
We've already got
we need to
it ready to
get
go.
started on it. Next item on the agenda is transfers. You got any question on the transfers? I think David,
Motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Now, comp, pass-through grants. Motion been made for District 1, second to District 3. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Next item on the agenda is claims list. Motion to pay the bills. Motion been made for District 3. Second by District 4. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Jail commissary annual settlement has been presented to us by Bear, or Stuart Hallberg, and all we need is a motion to accept it. Motion's been made and seconded. Motion by Randy and second by Mike. All in favor, say aye. Next item on the agenda is, whereas Sean Stegall has met 6-month probationary period, he actually met last month.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Good.
Also,
Good, a little bit of discussion there, I mean, we
what
actually,
this is about right here, for the media, is that there's a 6-month probationary period, he went from 975 to 1086 on there as well. Next item on the agenda is the training that Barry has received. He is entitled to some training
Motion. Second.
monies. Motion is second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Next item on the agenda, this is where we have Brenda here. We're moving ahead with the Harold Sewer Project, phase 3. And there's a bunch of federal things we have to sign, or I have to sign, and I need the authority to go ahead and sign these. Brenda, if you got anything that you want to talk about?
On this Title,
Motion has been made and seconded, by the way.
on the Title VI coordinator, you need a coordinator appointed and you need a committee. So you can use your fiscal court for that and then appoint somebody to be your Title VI coordinator. Title VI just says because you get federal money, you don't discriminate because of race or national origin. And it's something that you have to do before we can get release of funds.
Can we just do the court as a committee? And then,
But you need to name one person as coordinator. That can be you, that can be Sharon.
who do you be dealing with on this motion?
Usually I deal with like the city clerk or somebody like Sharon because.
Carla, let's put us down as for what you need to do for your purposes for all these federal grants and stuff. Let's put down the committee as the board and put Carla Stevens as the coordinator because she'll be the one that will be on the committee to pass through.
Okay, you also need to state the length of time that the board will serve.
Okay. Since this is part of the total resolution, let's go ahead and vote for that because I think we want to make sure that we've got, this is part of it. So
You also
we need a
to state
motion
the
in a
length.
second that the court will be the committee and that Carla Stevens will be the coordinator. Motion's been made and,
You all say?
no, this is on the resolution. This is separate. This is just on the,
Just to make the committee.
just want to make sure the committee is coordinated. Motion, no, Ronnie seconded, all in favor, say aye. Okay, that will get that set up for you.
That will get it. You also need to state the length of time the board will serve.
The board will serve throughout this phase 3 part of the project.
Okay.
Because that's basically all we're doing it on, is on these 2 grants here, aren't we? The CDBG and the
Well, it's a good
ARC.
thing to have in place anyway, but yeah.
Oh, do you?
Will it be the whole?
Let's just put it this way. We'll serve if there is more CDBG and more ARC money, and that way we don't have to visit this again, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's do that. And there is a motion and a second on the main resolution for all these things I have to sign for you. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Next item on the agenda, I want to introduce, I think we're to that point. Yes. I call it Special Population Skilled Nursing Facility. I would like to introduce Tim Nelson, who is a government liaison consultant, and John Robertson, who is with the architecture. John, if you both step forward and inform the court. Most people are kind of aware of it, but we want to make sure that that you can kind of give them a good feel of exactly what is being proposed and what could come down the road here in Floyd County.
Judge, thank you very much, and members of the court, appreciate the opportunity to come before you this morning and just take a few minutes. I'm going to give a little bit of the history of how we got with Floyd County.
Okay.
And then John is the architect on the project, and he can go into some more detail on proposing to do, or what we'd like to try to bring to Floyd County. As you all know, Wheelwright closed a number of years ago. At that point in time, Speaker Stonebow and Senator Turner were very interested in trying to find some replacement for that facility in the county, not only primarily the economic development for the jobs that exist. At the same time, I served in the legislature for about 10 years with the Speaker. Unbeknownst to me, the Speaker was working on the Wheelwright project, and I was running around the country as a lobbyist at that point in time and ran into a gentleman in Atlanta, Georgia, named Dr. Carlo Musso. Dr. Musso is a medical doctor and provides a company, or owns a company that provides jail health care primarily. And he has probably in excess of 15,000 jail inmates that he takes care of their health care around the country every day. Dr. Musso had a concept that he was working on which had to do with prison facilities and infirmed, sick prisoners. And what his concept was to move those prisoners out of prison under a parole situation into a skilled nursing home, and therefore the prison system would no longer pay for their health care, but their health care costs would be borne by Medicare or Medicaid. That concept was something that we talked with the Speaker and the Senator about some years ago, and they were both interested in hearing more about it, to the extent that the Speaker put some enabling legislation in the budget, the last two budget sessions in Frankfurt, that would allow this to take place. Now, these prisoners would be paroled from the prison system. They can't be controlled by the prison system to qualify, but they have to meet a Social Security test similar to what Social Security gives to qualify for a skilled nursing home, which they have to meet two of these criteria. There are a number of criteria. The criteria are like, you can't go to the bathroom by yourself, you can't get out of bed by yourself, you can't walk by yourself. Very restricted individuals. For the most part, these individuals are at the end of their life and have nowhere to go. And so that would be, they're not mobile, they're bedridden, they're inside the facility. John will describe the facility to you. This concept is growing. Dr. Musso will open his first facility around October 1st in Georgia, in conjunction with the Georgia prison system, and will take a number of parolees there. Kentucky, as I say, has looked at this. The Justice Cabinet has looked at it. We believe that we have their indications that they would certainly like to move forward with the cost-saving part of it. And because of the Speaker's interest and the Senator's interest and what they've done in Frankfurt, that's why we're very interested in coming to Floyd County. And with that, Judge, I'm going to ask John to come forward and give a little bit of detail.
Thank you.
Judge, if I may, I've got some handouts.
Sure.
Some
help.
I got it. Just going to pass these out to each of you. I think I've got enough copies for everyone.
We'll make you more of the.
And I've got one copy of this, which is a footprint that you'd like to pass around. And I've got 3 copies of this, which are snapshots of what we're building in Georgia, just to give you some sense of the type of appearance of the facility. This has got a large scale. I'll have this large scale here if anybody would like to take a look at that larger drawing. As Kim mentioned, my name is John Robertson. I'm an architect. My office is in Louisville, Kentucky. I've been working with Dr. Musso for about 5 years now. First, to assist him in the process of getting a certificate of need through channels in Georgia. And and now we have started the construction of the facility in Prestonsburg, a little bit larger, but somewhat rural. We're building a 280-bed facility there that will serve this special population. These are confirmed individuals, as Ken has already mentioned. Most of these individuals have been eligible for parole, were not able to be paroled because they simply didn't have a private nursing facility that was willing or able to take them. So Dr. Musso embarked upon this strategy to build such a facility in Georgia that would take care of this. It's the first of its kind in the country. We're able to launch this project in Prestonsburg, Kentucky. This will be the second such facility. So we're leading edge. What we have, we've been back and forth to Prestonsburg, I guess, for the last 6 months. We identified a number of properties that were suitable, or potentially suitable, I should say. Several privately owned, city-owned property on the Stonecrest development, and lastly, this property on Highway 23 that looks to be the best option. We received a civil drawing from Thomas, the engineer. We took that, imported it into a program that we have in my office called Revit. We're able to pretty accurately, I think, determine that there are about 9 acres there that are buildable. So it's slightly larger than what we originally thought it was, just walking the property. We believe that if we can do some cut and fill on the front of the site, we can create a platform that is large enough to support a 50,000 to 55,000 square foot facility. And that is depicted on the drawings that I put in front of you there. Large enough to support the facility, large enough to provide the parking, and probably large enough to expand. What we're seeking through Frankfurt in the CON process is permission to build a facility that would have 160 beds. If things hold up in Kentucky.
That's before the expansion.
Before the expansion.
Okay.
If things hold up in Kentucky the way they did in Georgia, that would have the effect of creating jobs to the tune of about 1.5, I'll say conservatively about 200 jobs. It'd probably be a little bit more than that. The difference being here is that I think we would need to include food service. Down there, we're contracting out. It just so happens that in the city of Milledgeville, we have a large kitchen operation, and it makes sense to farm that out. Here, we don't have that available to us, so we'd probably be somewhere north of 200 people. These jobs would be physicians, RN nurses, LPN nurses, lots of CNAs. There would also be administrative staff, administrator, assistant administrator, billings people, clerks, janitorial, grounds, and kitchen staff. So there's a wide spectrum of job types that would be created, and they're all pretty good paying jobs, especially when you start looking at the clinical jobs, the LPNs, the CNAs, the RNs, and that's the vast majority of the jobs. So we're hoping to get access to the property so that we can then move through the CON process. Complete the design of the facility, which will probably take about 6 months or so. Complicated a little bit by the soil conditions that we have in this part of the state. But nevertheless, the site does appear to be built. And we especially like the site, given its frontage to Highway 23 and its proximity to the local hospital, who we visited with when they have demonstrated their support for this facility. We're about 3 miles from the hospital. You would probably see a decent amount of ambulance service.
Obviously, you want that because of the line of care.
certainly weekly, and at times of the year, it may be a good amount of transfer from the facility to the hospital.
John, have you gotten any estimates as far as the total investments and what your payroll could be down the road?
Well, the total investment in construction, the building alone is probably $7 to $8 million. So there'll be construction jobs, I should mention that on the front here. In terms of payroll, I think it's somewhere north of $5 million per year.
Okay. And of course, this right now is strictly preliminary until you get your COE. So
We have to move through that process. We're hoping that move smoothly. Kentucky will allow the non-substantive review process if there's not an effective party. Because there's not enough facility like this in the state, there's not an effective party. So hopefully.
Anything you have to do to help with that process?
Pardon me?
Anything that this court do to help with that process?
We'll need letters of support from the court. We'll need letters of support from within the community, the hospital, physicians.
for both colleges already.
Yeah.
They both said that they can provide the skilled workforce that we need there.
But if everything goes smoothly, and we'll start the design process parallel to the COA process. Since we have site property, we can start that. It's conceivable that if everything goes smoothly, this project could be launched, construction activity could start in the first quarter of next year.
Possible.
Think about it.
Motion or agreement or whatever you need this for. I'll make a motion. Judge, go ahead. Further than that, you need a letter from us.
It's a letter that I will push people probably have to make sure he gets moved in. But that do.
I'll say, motion to say.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, you've got Keith's contact numbers and stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, and those things, so make sure anything that has to go through Keith, make sure he looks at it and the opposite.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
We'll turn it around quick, guys.
Okay.
Bill, baby, Bill.
Yeah.
Checks in the mail.
Okay, if you want, are you guys, Kim, are you needing to leave?
You do what you like to do, Judge.
Well, we're gonna go into an executive session real quick.
The newspaper might have some questions.
Newspaper, while we're in executive session before we adjourn, if they've got any questions for Tony or you guys. And Tony will be sticking around, but I know you have to be going back to Richmond on some other stuff.
You've got a little bit of time.
So if Mary, or if there's any other media here that wants to ask you questions or anything to clarify something, feel free to do that, Mary. I need a motion to go in for.
Motion.
Executive session, discuss pending litigation. Need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Thanks, just to put a letter together for a letter of an entitlement for support and
So
entitlement.
basically, I didn't have to have a motion to say that we're going back to the resolution.
No, we didn't even have a resolution on it. We had a presentation, but we'll make a resolution up that just says.
Okay, because I sure said I didn't have one in my packet.
Motion then made, second, to go into executive session. Executive session. No action. No action at this point. And we're at this point now, a motion to adjourn. Motion been made and seconded. And don't run off, because there's a lot of paperwork that needs to be signed.
Doesn't sound good.
Judge.
Okay.
Here we are.